Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about how to call Apex class from LWC. Okay, and how many ways to call Apex in LWC. There are two ways to call Apex class from LWC component. First one is the wire service. Second one is the imperative method. Okay, so this is how many way to call a Apex class in LWC. There are two ways call Apex class using wire services at wire. Okay, so this is at wire services, and second one is the call Apex method imperatively. So if you take the wire service, whenever the component is loaded or whenever the parameter value changes, at the time it will be ignored automatically. We no need to call explicitly to call that particular function. But if you take the imperative method, we need to call that particular method to do action. Okay, for example, we need if you click the button at the time, the imperative method we can able to call, or on change or on mouse or those kind of scenario, we need to use the imperative method we need to use. So I will explain both with the example now. Okay, so first we can go to our VS Code and we can first we need to create the one Apex class we need to create. Okay, so this is my Apex class I have created. First Apex class, this is my I have created for my testing, and you can create your own based on your name. Okay, and so this is the method name I have created, public static. Okay, static is the keyword, you should use this one. If you call LWC component to Apex class, you should use public static, you should use, and return parameter. So I'm going to return list of contacts. I'm going to return. So that's why I put an list of contact. You can see this is a list of contact. List of contact means this is a list of variable. So that's why I returning the list of contact. And method name you can give anything. And I'm passing the parameter as yes name parameter I'm passing. Okay. If the yes name value equal to null, then I'm returning the top 10 contact record I'm returning, and not email not equal to null and top 10 in my system. Okay, if email name equal to null, if the value is not coming as null, then I'm passing top 10. Else, if the parameter value is coming not equal to null, then I'm getting the value from the name field. Like, okay, if name should contains in the name field and top 10 records, and email also not equal to null. So this is the query I have formed. This is called the dynamic query. Okay, so in the interview they will ask you definitely what is dynamic query and static query. So this is called dynamic query. We can change whatever the we need to form it to one string variable. In the string finally we need to query. If you use this one, then this is a static query. But dynamic query means within the double bracket you will write, right? So within the double bracket, similarly, if you can select something, select id from contact. So if you do similarly, then it is the static query. So this is a dynamic query. So in the interview definitely they will ask you. And one more thing. So after that, this is if you call Apex class from LWC, you should use at RO enabled. Okay, this annotation should be mandatory. And so this is the important part, catchable equal to true. So if you use the what wire service at the time, the catchable equal to should be mandatory. Okay, so if you use at wire service, then the catchable equal to true should be mandatory. Catchable equal to should be mandatory. So if we use imperative method, if we use imperative method, then catchable equal to true is optional. Okay, so we can, if you use imperative method, then we can use, or no need, we cannot use. Okay, so it's our choice if we use the imperative method. But on the wire service, the catchable should be equal to true. Okay, so what is the use of this one means catchable equal to true? In the data will be here one more thing, we cannot do the DML operation. If we inform, if you put catchable equal to true, then you cannot do any DML. DML means like insert, update, or upset functionality you cannot do. Okay, just this is the main point. Just note it down. This one you cannot do the insert, update, or upset function. You cannot do only select operation. Only you can able to do. In the if you mention catchable equal to true means. Okay, so yeah, so if you use the imperative method, if you use a catchable equal to true, then also you cannot do the update, insert, or upset. But if you remove this one, then you can do the DML operation. Okay, so I hope you have understand now. Now I will explain the from first thing. So we have created one class. In that class we created one method. The parameters, based on the parameter, we are getting the performing the query and returning the list of contacts. Okay, so this is the our Apex class we have written here. For to call this Apex class, we need to create one LWC command. So Control Shift P, create Lightning Web command. So the command name I'm going LWC call Apex class. I'm naming. You can give your own name, anything, no problem. So I'm storing that particular. So it's yeah, new command has been created. You can see LWC call Apex classes. Okay, so this is the command here we have created. Now what we need to do, we need to call, we need to import this method into this class. Okay, first for that import, and here we need to give any name. So for example, it's better you can give the method name as a reference, from, okay, at Salesforce Apex, Salesforce Apex slash, and Salesforce Apex, the class name. So the class name dot dynamic method. Okay, so this is the class name, this is the method name. First class, the first Apex class is the method class name. In this class we are going to call the dynamic method. This is the method name. So I used here Apex class, Apex class dot dynamic name. So this is a method name. Now what we need to do, we need to call the wire method. Okay, first step is using call Apex using wire service. Okay, so for that what we need to do, we need to use at wire. Okay, and after that we need to pass this parameter dynamic method. So we need to pass this one, after that comma, and you need to pass here with the name. So what is the argument name we passed? Yes name, yes name colon. In this value we need to give the um, variable we need to give. So what is the parameter value? This is the reference name, this is the value we need to pass. For example, I'm going to define name equal to something. So see, I mentioned. Okay, so you should use a dollar, and this is a value. This is a reference name. Okay, it's a variable name I'm giving here. Before that, you should use a dollar. It is a mandatory. We should use this one at dollar. Okay, then so yeah, then we need to create one method we need to get. For example, get contact record. We are going to need to do this one. Here only we need to pass data or error. We need to pass. If it's success, then it will return the data. Else it will return a error. Okay, so first wire method. The wire method, the reference name we need to call, right? The import method we need to give here. This should be a stat always common. At wire is a parameter. You can see here is imported, and this is a method name, and this is a reference name. So this name should be present in the your argument. Okay, and dollar. So dollar is the always common, and this is the name. So the name I am passing here. Okay, Git contact record is the method name I have created. You can give anything based on your requirement. So here, what we need to do, if data. So if data is some value, then I'm going to print console dot log data equal to data. What I'm going to stringify. Sorry, JSON dot stringify. JSON dot stringify. Okay. So the return value is format of object. So from the object we are going to convert it into string. Okay. Else if error. If error, then we are going to convert that. Yeah, we are going to show that particular error. Okay. So now we can save this one and we can deploy. And before going to deploy, we need to make this one. So true, we need to make definitely, and targets inside the target, we need to define the target where we are going to use this one. Target lightning app page. Okay. Otherwise lightning homepage. So app page homepage, we can use this component now. And just save it now, and we need to push the component. So deploy. So before that, I will explain one more time. Just we have imported that Apex class, with the method here with the name of dynamic method, and we used one wire service, which is a method. Okay, the name method, the imported name here we need to give and parameter value. Then s name should be present in the your Apex class, and this is a name. So name is the parameter value. So this name will be passed here. If we use dollar, okay, what is the use of this one means? It will be take similarly this dot, this parameter name. This is the meaning for dollar. This is the meaning for the dollar. Okay, please don't forget, this means this dollar. It will be converted into inside the logic. It will be work similarly. So you should be very careful. If anyone asks you in the interview, you can explain what is the meaning of a dollar name means. And the name meaning is this dot name. This is the meaning basically. So why means if some values change, some similarly if it's changed, then here it will go the recent value, it will go here. That's why. Okay. So if anyone asks, you can explain this one. This dot name, that is the meaning for dollar. And so get parameters, I have created one. If error data success, then I'm printing that value. If error, then I'm printing the value. That's all. Okay. Now what I'm going to deploy this component to my R. So deploy source to R. So we can check it in the backend. So some error we got. Let's see what is the issue. Duplicate value found. Duplicate value found. Record with the ID. Bundled LWC Apex class. Duplicate value found. Duplicate value for duplicates on value with the ID unknown. So LWC call Apex class in the same name. I think we already have one comment in my R. Okay, let me go to lightning component. Lightning component, yes. Here I think we have a same name. What is the name? LWC call. Yeah, you can see the same name, LWC call Apex class. The LWC component already available. LWC Apex class. It was created on 7/24/2021. Okay, so that's why this component is failing with the duplicate value on the record ID. So what we need to do, we can create one more component, otherwise we can try to rename this one. Okay, first class, simply we can put new, and here also we need to change to new, and similarly for all the files, HTML new, and JS also rename new, and metadata as well rename first class new. Okay, let's try now. If again it's not working, then we need to create one more component and we can copy paste the our component. Okay, just deploy source to org. Yeah, now it's successfully generated. You can LWC Apex component class new is deployed. Go to our org, refresh, go to the edit page, home page, this one, and edit. Here what we need to drag and drop the new component. Just drag and drop here. So yeah, it's saved. Go back. What we did, we just put the log only here. Okay, now what we need to do, inspect. Yeah, you can see the data is printed. If you want, you can just delete everything and just refresh the page, then the log will be generated. Yeah, you can see data. This is a LWC call Apex class new. Okay, in this class only we put the log, and you can see this is the values returned successfully. Yeah, so data only we put. So in the data is we have stingified, then it's working fine. Then this is the way to call the wire service. Now what you can able to do, if you want, you got the data. If you want to show the data into your HTML component, and you can use whatever you can iterate the values using the data table. Here you can iterate the data table, and you can print one by values. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the second point. So second is the imperative method. Okay, so we just now, till now we saw that how to call Apex class using wire method. Now we are going to use imperative method. So for to call the imperative method, what we need to do, we need to call Apex function imperative, I'm putting. Okay, open bracket, close bracket. So method we need to create inside the method, only we need to call that service. So already we have used the same class, we can take for example. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to use the same, but the reference name should be different. Okay, imp. Here what we need to use imperative method, imperative, then we can pass the values. So if you want to, you can like s name same we can pass. What is the parameter name? S name. Okay, after that this dot name, here we need to put this dot name. If it's success, then we need to use, okay, else dot catch. So inside the method, this method should be called from the any of the constructor or any of the button action. We need to call this one. If we call this, then only this method will be work. Okay. Here, what we need to do, we need to yes, result equal to something. You can put here console dot log. Okay, you can print the result value, you can print. So similarly, if it's catch, here you can put error, you can print the error. Okay, so it is simple only, just method. Okay, and a parameter. If the value is success, then okay. If it's catch, then this method will be called. Yeah, so this is a method only I did earlier. You can see the method name, then this one same. Our functionality is correct only. This is a method name, so we should call this one from the our HTML class we need to call. So for that one, what we can do, lightning button. We're going to call one lightning button. In this lightning button, label we can use label equal to call apex I'm using, and after that variant equal to brand I'm giving on click. Whenever clicking this button, I need to call the particular method. This method I need to call. Okay, just save it now. Label variant on click function. If you click this button, okay, then this method will be called. In this method only, we have written the logic. So dynamic method import. So here is the same Apex class we are calling with the name, the same name. Yes, in this particular name we are passing. Here you can see here we are passing the this dot name. Here we are using the dollar. So this is the difference between at wire at function. So if you want, you can hard code the values in the double slash. Also you can hard code. So it's your wish. So here you can see if it's then here we are using then. See, this is a promise function. We will call it as a promise. If it's success, then it will be return the values here. The value will be stored. The return value will be stored here, but here the return value will be stored in the data. The catch will be stored in the error. If any error is occurred, then the error will be printed here. Okay, just save. Now we are going to deploy this component again. Deploy source to org. Okay, just we need to just refresh one more time. So if it's not refreshed, then go to the edit page one more time and just save. You can see the call apex button is implemented in the LWC component. Now just save, then go back. If you go to the console, you can see this method is called from the imperative method is called, sorry, a wire method called successfully. Just cancel this one and call apex. Yeah, you can see the result is printed, 3 values is printed, but we forgot to stingify. That's why. So now what we need to do, we need to stingify the values. Just save it now. Stingified. How is it? Whenever clicking this button, this action will be called. Okay, so in this action we have called one method, dynamic import method we have imported from the for apex class. Okay, and result is if a parameter we are passing, if the method is called and return success, then we need to, then the result is will be log will be print. If it's catch, then it will be go to the error. Okay, now go to deploy source to org. Yeah, so now you can refresh. Otherwise what we can do, we can go to edit page one more time. Yeah, so just save it now and go back. Okay, so this is called a wire method. Now we are going to on click method. You can see the same values printed here in the result also. So you can see 1, 2, 3 values printed. Similarly, here also 1, 2, 3, 3 values printed. So our both functionality we have seen now. First one is the imperative method, okay, and sorry, first one is the wire method, and second one is the imperative method. So I hope you have understand the concept and logic how to call the Apex class from LWC component to Apex class. So you got the values wherever you want to use that values, you can use here, no problem. You can what you can do, you can use data table. Okay, so you can use the data table, lightning data table, and you can hydrate the values, and you can print the based on your requirement, you can use it. So if you want lightning data table, so I will make it the separate video, and you will have more idea about the data table. Okay, so now in this video we have seen concept is like how many way to call an Apex class in LWC. There are two types. So call Apex method using at wire service, call Apex class using to imperative. So there are only two way to call a Apex class in LWC. Okay, so this is one of the decorator. So using the decorator, we can call. Okay, so if you use this one, we no need to call that particular method to to work. But if you use imperative, then we need to call that particular method to work. Okay, this is the difference between these two. And so if you use artwire, then this one, so catchable equal to should be mandatory. But if you use imperative method, the catchable is not a mandatory, it's a optional. Okay, so yeah, if you have any doubt, you can message me, and you can put it in the chat. Okay, I will respond to you. Okay, thank you, thanks for watching. Please just share this video to your friends or your neighbor. Yeah, maybe it will be helpful to them. Yeah, thank you, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in next video.